Welcome to our first episode of Monte Vista Beanboozled, where the flavors are crazy and the questions are even crazier. I'm your host, Gabriel Villa. Today we're joined by Dr. Iglesias. He's our current principal here at Monte Vista, but before that he was a principal at two different high schools, as well as the executive director of student services. Dr. Iglesias, before we begin here, any feelings as we're getting ready to embark upon this journey of disgusting jelly beans?
I'm nervous.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not a big jelly bean eater.
Oh yeah.
And this makes me even more nervous because I don't like licorice.
Ooh.
That's one flavor I've always felt like it was kind of disgusting. So I hope that doesn't happen to me.
It was gonna be this or hot ones, but I can't handle hot stuff. Can you handle hot stuff?
A little bit.
I don't know.
Just a little bit.
I don't know what would be worse. But we're gonna find out here. So,
Jeez. Okay.
have you played this game before?
No.
All right. This is how it goes. Is that we spin this little spinner here, and whatever it lands on is the color of jelly bean that we're gonna eat.
Oh no.
Now here's the trick: is that each color has two flavors, one good one, and then one nasty one.
Okay.
So, like for example, we got one flavor here. It's either peach or barf. We don't know if we're going to eat it. All right.
Oh no.
So.
Okay. Oh no.
Shall we begin?
Yes.
All right. All right. I'll let you do the honors. Go ahead and spin it there, and let's see what it lands.
Anyway?
Yeah, just don't throw the spinner too far. Anywhere you want. Good enough. What color is that? What is that?
It says pomegranate or old
Dishwasher?
bandages.
Okay. All right. So that's a red one. So go ahead and grab one of the red ones. Hopefully both get good ones, so that we don't have to worry about it. And cheers.
Cheers.
All right, here we go. Oh, I got the old bandage where I can tell.
I got bandages.
Oh, that's not good.
It tastes like bandages.
Yeah, have you had bandages before?
Like rubber.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Like burning rubber in my mouth.
Yeah, we should do the hot sauce. It's not good, is it?
Like Band-Aids. Something like burning.
I'm trying to swallow it. Okay. Well, here's the first question. I came prepared today, Doctor. Every time I see you, no, don't. Oh, hold it.
That's disgusting.
Oh,
All I smell is
it's gone.
like rubber.
I
still have to swallow. Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right, so I came prepared.
Yes.
Every time I see you on campus, I admire your style, one way or the other. You know, the ties, everything else, but I always love your hats. So one day I saw you wearing this hat, so I just had to bring mine as a way. What is the story with the hats, the style? Do you pick them out from a certain place?
You know, I actually thought about that a lot coming to our middle school. I wasn't a big hat. So here's the reality: I'm bald, and it took me a lot of courage to actually go bald, and I did it when I was younger, because I went bald in my 20s, but I fought it all the way into my 30s. So when I became a middle school assistant principal, I started to shave my head when we would do good with academics, with the state assessments. And so somebody said, "Hey, your head looks good. Your bald head looks round." And they said, "Keep it that way." So I've been pretty proud of my bald head. But when I thought about coming back to middle school, I thought about how kids nowadays really like trends and what they call the drip. It's a drip.
Are you talking about the clothes?
Yeah, like
we may be a few years behind.
I think it's called fit or drip.
Let's
and
go
so
drip.
I thought about them, and I thought about how things trend, and so I went with. I've always loved that hat, so
me too,
that's
me
something
too.
I've always used
Only one I
in
got.
general. But I thought about Superman and Marvel and DC, and so I thought about what middle school kids would like, and so I went kind of crazy and I bought a bunch of different hats to cover my bald head.
All right.
And then just because the kids love trends and fit and drip, and so I went with that whole like, let me see what they're gonna like. They tend to they like that hat.
Yeah,
They like
me too.
I don't know what you would call it. Like there's a series called I'm trying to remember something about the beakers. Something beakers.
I don't know.
And then there's and then the kids love Superman and Batman.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I've gone with Superman. But yeah, and then some Major League Baseball kind
So you actually put some thought into it.
I did.
All right. I just got this one because my wife told me to. That's all I got.
That looks cool.
Okay. All right. Let me take this one off here. All right. Let's go on to the next one. That was a disgusting one.
Already. That was like rubber.
Oh, yeah. That was not good.
Bandages, Band-Aids.
Hey, let's spin it. Oh, okay. I'll spin it. Here we go.
Please.
What is that one now?
What is that? That reads, buttered popcorn.
Oh, please be buttered
Oh,
popcorn.
no.
Or
a rotten egg.
Oh, that's a yellowish one, huh? All right.
Gosh.
There you go.
This is not fun, Mr. V.
Grab me.
This is not fun, Mr. V. Hill.
Now, let's see.
I don't think there's been any good things. So that's fun.
It wouldn't be awful. I took all the ones out.
Please, popcorn. Please, popcorn.
There we go. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Popcorn?
I think so.
Better than Band-Aid, huh? Mm-hmm. All right. Do you like popcorn?
I do.
All right, so this is all right then. All right. Whew, thank you. All right, next question. Okay. So when you first came to, hopefully I got all those things right. You know, principal, 2 different places. I think the technical term is you're the executive director of student services.
Yes.
And then here, principal at Monte Vista. When you first came here, what were how much of the words impressions? What surprised you about the school, good, bad, or different? What was different about this school versus the other ones?
So, at that time I was just like 10 minutes away in Hemet. And I've been living in Hemet for the past 15 plus years. So I've always thought about working locally and working in this community. So I had an experience where I was driving 3 hours a day. My commute was an hour and a half one way, an hour to 2 hours another way. So I'm like, not only do I want to stop the commute, stop the driving, but I want to just be local and serve my community that I've been living in for so many years. So when I saw the opportunity, you guys probably don't know this if I'm talking to students, there's a website called EdJoin. That's where you get all the teacher positions and principal positions. I went on there just to check, and it happened to be San Jacinto Monte Vista Middle School. And I'm like, wow, this is a great opportunity. It's just literally 4 miles down my house. Drove by, so I had to see it because I'm right here. And I said, what an incredible building.
Yeah.
I had never.
Brand new, right?
Brand new building.
Yep.
As a principal, so I've you spoke about my 3 past positions, but I've been an administrator for 20 years now. I'm old. So 20 years and then 6 years teaching in the classroom in Orange County Department of Education. So this is the first time I've been in a brand new building as a principal, as an administrator. And I was absolutely thrilled. I was like, this is amazing. Look at all the technology. Like, oh my gosh, everything works for the most part. And that was my first impression. And then I got here, the I don't want to call it bad, but the students right away were saying like, yeah, we're gonna have some fights. And I was like almost challenged as a principal. And the conversation was like, yeah, we'll see. It was almost like a competition to have a fight on a daily basis. And I just know how much that hurts. That hurts me. Just I never want to I don't like seeing violence. I don't want anybody to be hurt because I'm a parent too. I have 3 grown children. I would not want anybody's child to be hurt. And so when I heard that, I was like, wow, like what's happening here? Like why do kids want to hurt other kids? Because that's really gonna do some harm. Because if you hit the person in the right place in the brain, you're gonna cause damage, or worse. And so that was my first like physical impression of just the students, and they were being like the physicality of it.
Yes.
The physical campus of facilities was amazing. So yeah, that was my first impressions. Were like, wow, incredible building, technology, and then wow. Why the challenge of doing like harm to others? And I just didn't know why would people. Is there like something going on? Is something happening? And I'm sure there has been some things that have happened that have left people with that type of attitude. So yeah, that's been a challenge. And I want to say that our kids have they have really come full circle.
Yeah.
I feel kids are more respectful and they're really responding and knowing that this is their school, this is their community, and a lot of them are doing the Bobcat way, are living the Bobcat way of not harming other people, because there's a better way of doing things and having better relationships. So I hope that's happening. I see it.
I'm amazed in my classroom. It's you do your teaching thing, you do your thing in the classroom. But then you see these moments where you just see the humanity in some of these kids, just by the way they talk to each other sometimes. Because you always hear these bad things, kids these days. But I don't believe that. I mean, I see some really, don't get me wrong, there's always stuff.
Right.
But I see some good really come out of these kids.
Yes.
I'm not sure why I'm still surprised, but once I see it, I'm like, wow, that was pretty amazing.
Well, this is the most explosive time in their life for middle school.
Yes, you're right.
They come in super tiny, for the most part, super tiny, and they leave taller than us, or taller than, well, not you, taller than me most of the time. And I'm like, and it's not only a physical explosion, but it's a mental and a well-being. Like they go from being a little child to being almost a young teenager, an adult, a young adult. And so that's our job in middle school. Is those years are so explosive and so. Give me that scientific word. It's just like exponential. Is that a scientific word? They just growth is incredible, that we have to guide them into their young adult lives. And so that's So it's.
I think I'm just trying to avoid doing another one here. All right, let's do it. Your turn. Let's spin. Let's see what we got.
Oh next. Man.
Okay.
Oh
what's
no.
This one?
This says Tutti Frutti.
Okay, that sounds good.
Or stinky socks.
Stinky socks. All right, so I think it's these ones here. See for your stinky socks.
Oh no!
Grab your stinky socks.
What
I
color?
think the one like this with a little bit of color on it, so like kind of.
Let me see.
Clear with
You
kind of brown.
trying to trick me, man?
I think like there's one right there. I think.
This one?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Oh no!
There we go.
Please.
Whoa! Come on! I think I got Tutti Frutti. I can't figure. No, I can't. No,
It got burnt.
We got burnt what?
Like burnt socks.
Oh.
Like nasty.
I can't.
Like nasty socks. Like,
Yeah, not good. Huh?
when your feet get wet and moist, and then they're in your shoes, and then
Got that
like
fungus smell.
fungus
coming
smell.
in. Wow.
It's not very good.
But no. I should have brought the trash can over here, huh?
Oh.
All right. All right.
Like when you iron and like when
you burn it starts smelling, you burn it?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that what you got?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's not good.
This is terrible.
Not
Terrible.
Good. All right. Dr. Iglesias. I appreciate Dr. I. It makes my life so much easier.
Absolutely.
Is there a relationship to Fluffy?
There is.
There is. Now, how do you break that down?
It's so long, but I just got to give you the short story.
All right.
So I am Iglesias. My grandfather was Iglesias, and I've shared the story with some that he is immediately related to a cousin of mine. His name is he's Jesse Iglesias. He's actually a famous DJ. Okay. He goes by Chino in the morning. In San Diego Station and Riverside stations. So he's a real person. He's a real cousin. Know the family. We grew up together as little children. He's as a DJ, he introduced Fluffy in one of the concerts.
All right.
And as Fluffy comes up, he's always sharing about his father that he didn't have a good relationship with. He describes him as a man. He often describes him the Tapatio man. I don't know if you've ever seen Tapatio. So, sombrero, musician, the whole outfit. And that was true of my uncle, my cousin's uncle, father, my uncle. Very true of him too. He has a very similar life. Singer, mariachi, sombrero wearing. So Fluffy's on stage and he starts describing his father that he doesn't have a good relationship with. And he says, this man he's from Mexico, from Tijuana. He sings in a mariachi. He looks a certain way with the mustache, and so my cousin thinks he's describing his father. Oh. So he's like, oh my gosh, this man who we share the same last name is describing my father. So right after the concert, he calls his dad, my uncle, and he says, hey, Dad, you want to tell me something about how you related to this Fluffy Gabriel Iglesias guy? And my uncle laughs and he says, that's so funny you're saying that. That's actually my cousin. That's actually your cousin. He's my cousin too.
Oh, wow,
so
okay.
He's able to connect. He was able to connect Fluffy to his actual biological father, because the way he described
right.
his own father. So they're from the same place. It's called Guadalajara.
All right.
They're from the same place in Mexico, and same travels. And he was. If you ever follow Fluffy's comedy, he does a lot where he's talking about himself as a father, as well as how he misses his father, and he makes almost a full closure, and that's due to my cousin connecting him to his father. And then my sister, who's been trying to connect everybody in our DNA and family tree, she actually got him into our first family reunion. So
oh, really?
He's pictured with my sisters. I couldn't make it that day, but my sisters are with Fluffy, so they're really close. He might be like my second, third cousin, but he's closer to my actual uncles and cousins of the family. So
we're to call him your distant cousin.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't know of me. He knows he's met my sisters, and he knows that he got connected to his real father because of our family connection.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing how it's all wrapped together.
It is.
Have you actually done ancestry? You said your sister.
That's where it gets complicated. That's the long story.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to go into in this edition of Meet Your Principal, but there's a longer story where we found out the truth.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of truth that I got to share one day. Yeah.
No, bring up all the dark secrets on that one. I know.
Not yet.
I've been chasing my
people are not ready.
Let's do it. Let's see. Did we do this one yet?
No.
What is that one?
That is Juicy Pear.
Juicy pear.
Or Booger.
All right, let's.
Why did you do this to us?
All right, I've got a faded yellow one here. Juicy pear.
Lord.
This is going to be a juicy pear. I can feel it. Okay. Why waiting for me? No. I'm not sure if it's a juicy pear. No, that's a juicy pear.
I'm sure this one's super hot.
No, it can't be hot. What is it?
Like a jalapeno.
Oh, did we get a different one? Oh.
It was super hot, now it's calmed down. I don't know if boogers are super hot.
No, I don't think
Are your boogers super hot?
Mine are cold. How are yours?
My boogers are sometimes moist and
Yeah.
sometimes they're hot out of
Put a
my...
little tapatio sauce in there, perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. I don't know what this is not juicy.
That's not, right? But I don't think it's burgers, though. At least I don't think it's that.
Mine is kind of weird hot.
Oh. All right. Next question. Here we go. Not many people know this about you, but you can tell just by looking at you that you are an athlete.
Yes.
Name some of the things. I know you said marathons,
Oh,
sprint
my
races. What? Name a couple things you've done, but out of all those, what's probably your greatest accomplishment out of all those you think of?
Okay, so when I was a kid, I'm looking over my picture. When I was a kid, when I was in middle school, I don't know what this thing is, but it's hot in my mouth still. When I was a kid, I played Pop Warner football, which is probably different now, but I played tackle football in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and then I played high school football all 4 years. So I started with football being my go-to sport. In between, I try to run some track and field, some long distances, but I was always fourth place. So, but in high school was mostly football. Football was so part of me that when I graduated high school, I thought I was going to go to college, junior college, community college, and try to play football. I realized I was short. So I stumbled on to Palomar College, and I actually met the coach, and I wanted to ask him if I could play. He said I reminded him of somebody that was, kind of stocky and strong. But when I looked at people in the locker room, they were like 6'3" and 300 pounds. I just realized I was not going to be able to compete. So I kept on gaining the weight. Like every year in high school, I gained like 20 pounds so I can be competitive.
Okay.
And I kept on bench pressing like 315 pounds and squatting 400 pounds. So I was a pretty stocky, strong kid. But after that, I just kept on gaining the weight, and I got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I got to about 240 pounds at one time.
Really?
Yeah.
All muscle.
All muscle.
Yeah, okay,
Not. And then later on in my life, just through I had 3 grown children, the relationship. I just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I wasn't watching my weight. My kids kind of laugh. My daughter, my oldest daughter is like 10 years older than the other 2 children that I have. And so Victoria was 9 years, about 9 years older than my youngest. My oldest daughter calls me the fat dad. And they said, so she says to her younger siblings, yeah, you guys got skinny dad. I had a fat dad. so that's like the difference. And I was just big. I mean, we're not shaming anybody. It was just my reality of where I was at. And that's when my daughter called me. So I'm not trying to make any,
It was in
body.
terms of endearment.
Yeah.
There we go.
And so later on, as I realized what she was saying and how the kids saw me, and through some circumstances that were difficult, I took up some running. The first thing I tried to take up was a marathon.
Just out the gate?
Out the gate, without even thinking about it.
Wow.
And I thought I was training by doing like 6 miles, like every weekend or something. Just a little 6 miles.
Yeah, that's all.
And when I did the marathon, I did the 2009 LA Marathon, and I did it under 6 hours. I almost died. I felt like I said, "Oh my gosh." And it was just the most painful thing in my life. I was seeing visions. I was dizzy, not lazy, daisy. Just like it was just a very difficult experience. I just don't know how I got through it, but I did it. I finished and I said to myself, I'm never going to do this again. But I decided to take on running and do half marathons. So right now, I've done about 50 half marathon in my life since 2009 to now. I've done about 50 half marathons. I've done a dozen more 5Ks. I've done 10-mile runs. I've attempted to do some ultras, but I wasn't very successful. I tried to do some longer mileage, but I've done 6 marathons.
So you've done 6 so far?
I've done 6 so far, and that's my greatest distance. And I've done some trail runs where I've done between 15 miles, 10 miles, and so forth. So I need to get back to running.
That's right. We'll edit that. Keep going.
I want to get back to running, but yeah. So that's my go-to when I want to relieve stress. Is I still run a little bit, and then I do weights. I still do weights. I do the bench press and I try to squat a little bit of weight. So
how are your knees holding up? Because my knees ache lately.
So far, so good.
Really?
My knees, I've felt some pain maybe like 10 years ago, but ever since they've been pretty strong. Don't jinx me. My knees have been good.
Oh, all right.
And I can still do about 50 push-ups at one time.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. You're pretty.
And I can do about 25 bench presses of 135.
You know what I can never do?
In a row.
Pull-up. Can you ever do a pull-up?
No.
Those are.
No.
They seem so easy.
No, they're hard.
No.
My stomach's hurting. Okay, well.
It's your turn, my turn.
I think it's your turn.
Let's do it. Oh my God. Okay, did we do that one?
No, yes.
Okay, what's this one then? What's this one down here? I don't have my glasses.
That is toasted marshmallow.
All right, I sounded good.
Or stink bug.
Stink bug or toasted marshmallows? Let's do it.
Which color did you get?
The brown one.
I'm going to go with what you did.
All right. What do you think I got? I'm jinxing this here. There we go. Oh, no, it's a stink bug. You can tell right away. Oh, this is not good.
I can't, sir.
No, we got it. Part of it. No. Hold it together. Where's the trash can? Oh, okay. This is the worst one yet.
Oh.
This is a gross one, huh? Hang in there, doctor. I've got 2 more
Words cannot describe.
We got 2 more questions here.
Words cannot describe.
This is a gross one. Next time I'm doing the hot sauce, I think.
My stomach's starting to hurt.
All right. I'm going to get this out real fast. Regarding the job. This is an awful one. That's the worst one, right?
Yeah, but I think you got something special, and that's why I was looking down.
No, we
actually got, my eyes are watering.
No, it's
we got liver.
Oh, is that what it is?
And onions.
Oh.
You did not get the right one.
I don't like, by the way, it's not good. Oh, liver's, do you eat liver?
No.
Neither way. All right, here's the question. Education. I know for me, I got into teaching just by Don't look at it. We're just
It's okay, sir.
put a pom-pom right there in front of me so that people see that one there.
Okay.
So I got to education by mistake. Just having one location, time, and everything else. And I think myself, I never got an education. What would I do? So that's the question to you.
Wow.
What would you do if you never got involved in? What? How old were you when you started the whole education journey?
So same here. So I got into it by mistake. I was holding out. I had some tough moments in my life, so I always wanted to help people. Yeah, this is not good.
Wow.
I wanted to help people quite a bit, even when I was younger. I was always cheering on the underdog. I always wanted to support people, so I wanted to be a counselor. I just got that in my head eventually. Like, I wanted to study all things psychology because I had some pretty tough circumstances in my life. So I happened to go to my local community college, Palomar College, and I started taking all things psychology. I took all the psychology classes I could take because I thought I was going to be a counselor, and I was pretty stubborn about it. So kept on. I got my certificate in psychological social services. I got my AA in psychological social services. I went to Cal State San Marcos, and I got my BA in psychology. And then I even entered my MA program for sociological practice, which is social work program.
You went real far in that.
Yeah, I went really far. Like, I really wanted to be a counselor or a social worker. I wanted to help others. I was starting to work in group homes, which is like a rehabilitation center for youth and kids. So I was really big on going down that route. It just so happened that when Victoria was small, I was actually staying home, taking care of her, and I wanted to get a part-time job, and I did. And I was a bilingual paraprofessional in the classroom in Orange County. And so I went in. So I would take my daughter to preschool, and then I would go into a position to be a bilingual aide in the school. And I had this fiery principal, Dr. Condry.
Don't remember his name, huh?
She was tall. She was tall and fiery, red hair. She's like, and I told her I had my BA in psychology, and she goes, "You're gonna be my teacher." And I said, "Me?" And she's like, "Yes, you have a BA in psychology. You can take the test. I'm gonna hire you as a teacher. Get ready." And I had just been like 3 or 4 months into my job being a bilingual paraprofessional. And so that's what got me into education. But I really wanted to be a counselor, and that's why you hear me and see me, that I want to hear people and understand where they're coming from. I still had that little bit of that counselor DNA in me, where I want to understand what people are going through and try to help them. So I would have probably been a counselor. I would have been I would have been a social worker. I would have been doing something helping youth out. And that's why you still hear a little bit about that in me.
It's hard to get it out of you, right? Because that's what you've been thinking about all this time.
Yeah. I always related to my life or somebody in my family that needed that help. I always want to help them out. Yeah.
Wow. It's pretty good. Good answer. Good answer.
Thank you, sir.
Mine was I was going to be at home, do nothing. That was my plan. All right, we got one final question. So one last jelly bean here, and I'm gonna let you spin it because I don't want you to feel guilty if it's something disgusting again.
I'm about to fling this thing. Oh,
that was a nice one.
No, we took that one.
Okay, let's do.
Let's do birthday cake.
Oh, all right.
Or dirty dishwater.
Okay, that's just a plain white one, right?
That looks white with red dots, sir.
White with red dots. So that is my white with red dots. Oh, birthday cake. All right. Or even dirty dishwasher is not as bad as liver.
It better
clear
out what I have in my mouth.
That's 100% fruity. Birthday cake. How about you? Not worse than liver, though, is it?
It's like ammonia.
You know, my mom.
It's not as bad as liver.
Not as bad as liver. My mom used to clean with bleach all the time. So every time I smell bleach, I have memories of my childhood. Just bring back any memories?
A little bit. Actually, still clean.
Oh.
I'm still clean, sir.
That was much better. All right, final question here.
Dishwater.
Oh.
I got dishwater.
Much
better.
Much better, right? Because we're with these, like you mentioned, these kids are going through some of the craziest times in their life, and we have a lot of we're gonna call it wisdom, being the ages that we are. If there is
Wisdom.
what
Wisdom. I learned that from a coach.
wisdom. All right. If you can talk to little Narcisco,
Yes.
or to our kids these days, and give them some words of advice, what would it be?
You know, I've actually used this one a little bit. So, little Narciso,
I picture him being really cute, by the way. Was he cute?
he was pretty handsome.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I wanna go that
I don't know about cute. Yeah. I took care of my, I played Pop Warner football, and I had hair.
All right.
So it was parted to the side, but then I tried to be all cool with my hair and kind of comb it back a little bit there. But a couple things. So this is the time, it's an explosive time. You go from for me, like my mom, and I still love my mom. My mom took care of me, and she would like give me my clothes, like always give me my morning clothes, right? I would have my shirts already prepared for me, and she would comb my hair to the side. Identity is big, so I lost myself in middle school because I didn't want to be mommy's little boy anymore. So I went from like, stop mom, leave me alone, to like, I went to like, hey, I want to be stronger, I want to be buffer, I want to look cool, I don't want to look cute, I want to look handsome. And so I think that finding your identity, it's okay to go through this period of time. It's okay to question who you are. I questioned who I was, just a number of things. People didn't know that I was Latino of background. They would see me, but I would say my name Narciso, and they would say, "What is that? Like, what are you? Are you Greek? Are you Spanish? Are you Mexican?" So, and I actually questioned myself, like, what am I? I had some conversations with students right now in our school, and I would say, be true to yourself. Love your family, keep in touch with your family, keep your family number one, identify with them in that sense, but still, like, you're able to question yourself and who you are and explore that. Just don't get lost in it. Don't get lost in the different identities that people are trying to throw on you, right? Like, so you got one group that wants you to be, an athlete. You got another group that wants you to be like, hey, I want you to be tough and rough. You got another group saying, no, I want you to be a punk rocker or a, party hardy. I want another person that wants you to be like, so those types of identities. Be true to your identity, family identity. Stay true to that. Explore a little bit, but don't get lost trying to fit in somebody else's identity. I think that's something that because I was dumb. That's now wisdom for me.
Yes.
Is stay true to your family and love your family, because they're always going to be there for you. Your friends are always going to move on, and they're gonna, you're gonna stay. I don't want you to be lonely. Second thing, real quick.
Yes.
Relationships.
Yeah.
So, I too had the heartbreak in 8th grade.
Oh.
I fell in love.
What was her name?
Diana.
I got the name.
And she's not there though. All right. She wasn't even there 6 months later. Not even 3 months later. But I had the biggest heartbreak.
Yeah.
6th grade, I was cool with myself. Like, oh, I'm just a kid. 7th grade, people liked me, and I was like, whatever. I don't like you. 8th grade, I had my first heartbreak. And so I'm telling students right now, even now, it's okay to have friendships. Just keep them as friends. And again, don't commit, like don't completely commit yourselves yet, because you have the rest of high school and college and career. And believe me, Diana wasn't there 6 months later, and I went through a wall with my fists when my dad and mom said, when my mom and dad said, you can't talk to her anymore. I went, no! And I went through a wall with my fist. I picked the right wall, by the way. It was just a dry wall, not the brick wall. And so, so I would say, be true to yourself. Keep a good identity that's centered around your family and faith. And I would say the other one is have relationships, have friendships, but don't completely commit yourself, because later on in the month they're talking to somebody. It's okay. By the way, it's okay to talk to people. You're not owned. You're not possessed. You shouldn't possess anybody else, and you should not possess anybody. And that's what I'm hearing. Like, people are trying to own people. You can't own people. People are free to do whatever they want to do. So just love, but love in the right way.
Oh, well said, well said. Because if you start doing that, you start losing yourself, right?
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Wow. Well, I'm glad this is done, because I was not looking forward to these at all.
My stomach's hurting.
With that said, Dr. Iglesias, if you want to look there, any final words to our students, our staff, or even our parents that might be watching this?
Hey, you know what? I'm committed to our school 100%. I hope you're seeing that. I believe in our students. Our students are our future. They are bright, they're caring, they're compassionate. They're going to make mistakes if they're in middle school. I'm telling you, this is the most explosive time in their life, and they're going to learn. So we believe in your student. We believe in you. Thank you for being part of our community, and we want to grow our family. So come next year, I hope that we can do this more often and have you included as well.
You sound great.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Dr. I.
Sure. Thank you.
We are done.
Thank you.
All right, man.